How you doing, folks? My name is Scott Moore, and you're watching Whack Outdoors. I'm shooting this video because a friend of mine, Wesley, that I met up at Lancaster Archery in Pennsylvania, responded to a picture that I put on Facebook of my Mora Knife Kit, and he asked me if I would shoot a little video and show more about the kit, and I'm happy to do so. But while I got the camera on, what I'm doing out here, we're getting ready to run a Whack Outdoors Wilderness Survival Retreat on January 21st and 22nd. I know that's coming up pretty soon. I'm out here at the camp trying to get things ready. Got a few guys coming. I'm looking forward to it. It's not too late if you want to join in. And the thing that I wanted to mention is a lot of guys hear about a survival class or a survival school, and to be quite honest, I think kind of shy away because they don't know what to expect and don't want to get into more than they think they can handle. And notice the title is a Wilderness Survival Retreat. We run these classes for the education value. We want to teach you a lot of survival skills. We're going to cover shelter, fire, water, food procurement, signaling, navigation, tracking, and trapping. We're also going to discuss what it takes to become hard to lose and easy to find. The only way to cover that much material in a weekend is if we don't have to dig holes and hollow logs and eat grubs and do this type of thing. In other words, if we plan on building a debris hut to sleep in, it's going to take all day to get that camp ready, and we don't want to do that. We want to spend that day educating you folks on the skills you need to survive an emergency situation in the wilderness. So the way we run our camp is you come in, you bring your tent and your sleeping bag. We're going to set you up in a primitive camping situation with your modern camping gear that you bring. We can provide some if you don't have any. It's going to be a classroom type of setting in the outdoors. We're going to cover a lot of material, but we're going to keep you relatively comfortable, safe, and well fed. We are indeed going to build some shelters, and you are more than welcome to spend the night in them. We encourage you to do so, but we don't make it to where that is a do or die situation for the weekend. That way that we ensure that we have time to cover all the bases and all the areas that we want to cover. So I just invite you to come out if you feel led to do so, and I am going to make a special situation available for the folks that are watching this video. A lot of times it is hard to commit to an entire weekend to come to a class. And the way that I run my archery boot camps and the way that I run these classes also is we pretty much cover the basics on the first day, and we go into a lot more detail on the second day. So if you're only able to commit one day to the class and you contact me, we will allow a small group to come out on Saturday and just be with us Saturday. And then after they depart Saturday, the rest of the group spends the night and covers more advanced skills the following day. So this is a 2-day class. It's $150. You can sign up online, pay with PayPal, or contact me personally. Bring your gear and enjoy the weekend class. For a few of you, if you contact me and you can only commit to one day and you want to come be a part for that one day, give me a call or email me and we will cover that ground. Also, I'm very excited to announce that in May, on May 6th and 7th, me and my wife Kathy are hosting a sustainable living and preparedness gathering on the historic Bowie Farm right here in Ivy, South Carolina. We're going to have vendors, seminars, workshops, plenty of food cooked in the old way, and we are going to cover homesteading, sustainable living, survival, bushcraft, and preparedness. We're going to have plenty of folks on hand and exhibitors. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please again check out the website, Facebook, watch for that coming up. We're excited to put this gathering together, and I think it's going to be a real enjoyable weekend for whoever cares to participate. All right, the business at hand. Wesley inquired as to whether I would shoot a little video and show in more detail the Mora kit that I wear around my neck. It's also the kit that was pictured in the article that was just in the most recent issue of Backwoodsman magazine. I encourage you to get that issue and read that. I think you'd enjoy the whole magazine, and in particular I go into a lot of detail about a survival necklace. Alright, I'm going to zoom in and give you a closer look at this, but the whole thing about the way that I have this arranged, I just have a piece of paracord that is through the belt clip and going down through a piece of bicycle inner tube that's stretched over the sheath of the knife. So what that does is it allows me to have the knife hanging down here, so when I'm working in a camp I can access the knife easy, pull it out, use it, put it back in. I wear it like this a lot of times, and I also a lot of times will wear it like this and wear it under my arm and under my jacket. It's not because I'm trying to have a concealed weapon, it just keeps it out of the way, and I can reach in my jacket and pull this out whenever I want to, put it right back in. It's very easy to access while I'm sitting down or kneeling like this at a fire. I prefer that over it being on my belt. A belt knife or a knife on your hip, a lot of times it's under your jacket. You got to raise your jacket up to get to it, or you raise your shirt tail up and it hangs on the handle of the knife. So oftentimes I prefer to keep my knife, for what it's worth, right here. The benefit of the way this knife is configured for me, though, is I can have it hanging down lower and easier to access when I'm working, and when I'm not working, this slides just like a bolo tie, and I can pull this right up here. I can keep this up higher, it's not in my way, it's not dangling or flopping around, it's right here, and I can still get to it if I want to. And then if I want to get to where I'm working at camp and get easier access with it, I can just pull this thing down like this. So the biggest thing about this configuration is that we have this effect right here. I can slide it up and down like a bolo tie, and it's very handy to be able to adjust the height of the knife while I'm wearing it. Now, as far as what's on the knife, I cover this in the article. I have a really good photo of all the contents that's trapped under these pieces of inner tube laid out, and I will put that picture on this video and I will describe the contents while you're looking at them. The one thing I want to point out quickly before I go any farther, you will notice that on this sheath, both front and back, there is a strip of reflective material. That same reflective material is on the knife blade. That way, if I would drop either of these things, they're easy to find in the dark with a light. Now, as far as how this kit is put together, you can see what I have here is I have two pieces of bicycle inner tube that is stretched over the sheath. I have a piece of paracord that is looped through the belt clip and then brought and trapped under the top piece of bicycle inner tube. That's what allows that thing to slide up and down. And underneath of the bottom piece, what I have here, and you can see the exploded picture that I have up, and you can kind of see all the little contents that I have in there. I typically carry in here some water purification tablets, some matches, a needle, some fish hooks, some split shot, just whatever small item you want in there, really, you can put in there. And I typically take those small items and I fold them up in a little bundle of like saran wrap, and then on the outside of that I put some tin foil, and you can see the tin foil. So all those little components are in saran wrap and in the tin foil. I trap them under the inner tube, and I put a lighter under the inner tube. This stuff is not meant to be pulled out and used. This stuff is meant to be here in case, last ditch effort. It's always on me, and this is what I go to if all else has failed. Now on the outside, and I'm not going to undo it, you can see it in the picture, I have wrapped on the outside fishing line. On top of the fishing line, I have some real fine wire for making snares. On top of that, I have some real stout cordage. This is actually, I'm thinking about a 150-pound test twisted line that you use for trot lines and bank lines. And by the way, I normally put my lighter in upside down, so if it's raining, the water doesn't get down in it. And again, I don't get into this stuff and use it regularly. It is there if I need it. And for what it's worth, Wesley, and the rest of you guys, this is just a quick look at my Mora Knife Kit that I wear around my neck. I hope you enjoy this. All right, guys, it's getting dark and the fire's burning down. This is Scott Moore from Whack Outdoors. As always, God bless. I hope to see you in the field and on the water.